we had some rain the day before, a couple of days maybe, and then on that morning, Friday morning, um, the the river, it was starting to get up, but our creek beside our house had filled their tile. So this was about 3:15 in the morning. So we got in our truck and we pulled out into the highway so we could keep a watch on the river. But at that point, the river wasn't rising very fast. It was still down in the very bottom part of our yard. So we sat there for probably 3 hours, and then the creek beside our house started getting up. So my mom lives across the street, so we went over to get her, and as I was, she's 92 years old, and as I was trying to get her to the door, my husband looked out and he says, "We can't get out." He said, "My truck won't go through that water." So we went back into the house, and at that point his truck just washed away. So we went into Mom's back room, which she had lived there 70 years. The water had never gotten up at her house. So my husband says, "I think we'll be okay." So we looked out, and her front yard was covered with just waves of water. And then it was circling her house, just circling and circling. So it's like, no, we gotta go, we gotta go. So we went to the back door, and my husband got a foothold because the water was probably knee deep. And he got a foothold, and he pushed me across the water to where I could get a foothold. And then he got my mom and put her out to where I could get a hold of her hands, and I pulled her to me. So we started up the hill, but at 92, my mom, she couldn't walk it, so we had a little goat fence there, and she crawled under it, and so she crawled up the hill to our neighbor's house. So we got up there, and they put us in dry clothes, and we hadn't been there very long. And then I saw my house. It was just like it picked up. The water was over the top. You could just see the eave. Just like it floated away. And as it went across, I think the tip end of my house hit my mom's house. And hers just uprooted and it floated away. So we just lost both of them at that time. And then my sister lives above us, and she, the water was up to her rafters, so hers is a total loss because it pulled it off the foundation. So it's very devastating. We got out with our lives, so we are alive, which I'm so blessed and so grateful. But we've lived here 50 years, and my mom had lived there 70 years, and we've just never seen anything like this.
So what do you feel like? What are your next steps from here?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're waiting on insurance and maybe FEMA's help, but I don't know what our next steps are.
And did you have flood insurance?
No, we did not.
So how can people best help you at this point in time if you know of anything?
prayers. Just prayers, and hopefully the insurance can help us in some way so that we might can rebuild or relocate, whatever, just to get us back on our feet.
Well, we have never seen a storm like this, and we've lived by that river since 1954, and I enjoyed living by the river. But anyway, this flood was different. I never dreamed of losing my house. It was a very well-built house, and we just thought, well, that would handle my family if we got a big flood, but it didn't handle the family. So it's very overwhelming. It still seems like a dream, but I'm so thankful that we got out alive and that all my family is safe. We are a very close family, and seem like we're not really grieving like most people would, because 3 of us barely escaped through the back door. And then we had to crawl and lead each other up a pasture to my neighbor's house, which was very exhausting for all of us. But we got a lot to be thankful for, and I'm going to miss it. But we're so thankful to have our family, and people have responded so great to all of us that everything is just like a miracle for us. So we saw the 77 flood, but it was nothing compared to this. And the water got up so fast that my daughter and her husband, they came over, and by the time we looked back out, like minutes later, they couldn't get back to their truck. It was so deep. Well, we looked out my back door, and the water, instead of running, it was swirling. And Ricky held the door facing. We held hands and fairly pushed ourselves through knee-deep rushing water. And we're thankful to be alive, and we've got a wonderful family. We've had wonderful friends and family and neighbors, and responding and giving us everything that we need up to now.